Hello, my name is TT, and today we'll be talking about our project in sports management, about a facility that we want to build. And to start off with, I just wanted to say that my ideas come off from my own passions in terms of being a footballer and a player, and therefore, with this out, I'll be explaining stuff that may be related to myself as well, in terms of me being a player. So, um, hopefully, you'll enjoy it, and here we go. So the first one I want to talk about is the facility's name. So the facility name is going to be the Football Builder. Um, the Football Builder, just because it's a facility and company just based off of creating a better situation for young players and upcoming players to have a better training regime and better training schedule for themselves. Um, it's a training center where we'll be able to fill out up to maybe 8 to 10 actual pitches, and it's a one-to-one specialized training project where it's a coach and a player strictly, no other players, just one-to-one is what it means, and where they're able to create an environment where they learn and learn and play throughout a specific period of time, and a couple of weeks maybe they do it where they're just having sessions that are tailored to themselves and strictly to themselves. And this is going to be based on in downtown Winston-Salem, whereby it's a highly populated area in terms of football interest, and there'll be loads of people that will be interested in to come down and play with different clubs around the area, surrounding area. I think it'd be a great place for young players and even college players to come and hone their skills each day. So in terms of the facility itself, it's going to have a 200 stand, where the capacity will be 200. Not, it doesn't. It's nothing big, nothing major, because remember, obviously, players are there to just get their touches in, get their learning in, and the 200 is there for in case we ever have like tournaments and stuff like that, events like that. If I have a side, they can have an option to do that as well, and we can have an option to do that as well. There'll be locker rooms involved, a refuel station, because obviously it's gonna be hard work. One-to-one sessions, get 1,000 touches in there within an hour, which is what we're providing. And then the refuel station will be able to give our players a chance and opportunity to go get some snacks, get some Gatorade, water, and refill before they can come back into their session, or even after the session or before the session. Nutrition obviously is a big thing for athletes, and with us having 10 to 15 mini Astro courts, we'll be able to have 15 players at a time, where we're obviously going to be charging around $40 per session. And with this, we have a first come first serve basis, where we have a booking system for all the players, where they can go access it through our website. And then with that, we have our Wi-Fi included, and then it's going to be screens in each of the AstroTurfs, where the coaches will be able to show players different drills instead of having to explain it and waste time explaining and demonstrating. They can just have a clear view, just looking at a screen, boom, boom, straight away. Which is one of the things we want to focus on, is having a high tech feeling towards our training, where players we want to be able to be as effective as possible and as quick as possible, and making sure that we're not stopping too much and giving our players an even scale, so that they all can play at the same time without having to worry about wasting time. And then, so what is the event type? So this is gonna be a Monday through Sunday sort of event, where we're running from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. It's a specialized skills training camp, where we strictly working on what the player needs. We're gonna have a strong coaching staff, where they're gonna have to analyze. We're gonna have a first session where it's an induction session, where we introduce you to the coaches. We see what level you're at, what we think you might need to work on, and then from then on, the second session, obviously now it's all specialized. We all have a clue and an idea of how we want to improve you as a player, and what individual things we think you can work on. So it's going to be a big thing, where there's loads of players nowadays that can't find the right training stuff to do for themselves, because as a player you can't really know what you're lacking and what you're good at, because it's obviously a biased opinion within yourself. So having a coach and stuff like us, coach and stuff, where it's high level professionals, high level coaches, they're able to tell you the truth and give you the best chance to improve on this. So within our target audience could go from younger ages where a parent wants to get their child into football and slash soccer, or we can have kids that are playing at a high level, the MLS next, the ECNOs and stuff like that, where they're trying to go to the next level, which will be the collegiate level. So they want to build up them skills before they can go into the big stages and the harder stages. So with that being said, we're just providing them with that next step. That's the audience we're going for, and then obviously, specialized training, one-to-one training is a niche market nowadays. So I think collegiate athletes as well will be interested in coming down to have training sessions because they don't get that many touches within their team. They don't get that individual specific training regime for themselves within their team environment. So for them being able to go to a place where they can just train and work on what they need to work on is really, really attracting to them. And with that being said, obviously we understand that it's a high intense sport, so we're gonna have physios on site, athletic trainers, massage therapists and stuff like that, so that we can make sure that our athletes are able to have a good physical state where before they train or even after they train, where they have injury, if they get an injury, we have people on site that can assess them properly, and people that can help them treat them into coming back stronger to the sport itself. And then we've got the social media side of things, or social media being a big thing for marketing. We can use marketing through social media in a big way where we can get say we get a team in, we post on Instagrams, different teams will be interested into coming in, giving their players a little bit of insight on how they can train themselves. And then we have another option where we can use a big time player, we get a big collegiate player, with the NIL things, we give them whatever they need or whatever they've asked for. In return, we ask them for brand exposure, where they'll use their brand to sort of promote us to their audiences, that's how NIL works. And then we're gonna have a social media team itself where we'll have daily posts. Whenever our players come in, we have a little video here, video there, so that they can have a more relatable experience where the audience on the outside can engage and have a look at how we run things on a day-to-day. They will do day in the lives and stuff like that, so they can have a great understanding of how it works. So in terms of the staff, we're gonna have 8 to 10 coaches. Obviously there'll be 2 coaches at a time sitting out monitoring, and then they're gonna have 8 coaches actively working from the session starting to the session ending. And we're gonna have good experienced coaches. We're gonna make sure every coach we have on there is different and has a different approach to football. But at the same time, we're gonna make sure that everything that they have aligns of how we wanna build our company as a whole and how we want our event to be seen. We wanna make sure that we all have the same morals, the same ideas. Obviously, like I said, I still want everybody to be different in their own way, but at the same time, the principles to be all the same, the way we coach to be all the same, so that we don't confuse the kids and stuff like that. And we're gonna have goalkeeper coaches in there as well, because obviously goalkeepers are a niche position in football. So we're gonna make sure that everybody feels welcome to come to our place and get the best training possible. And with our coaches, we wanna make sure that they develop players rapidly. That's the best thing we want to do for our players, is for them to see progress almost instantly. So hence why I'm pushing for those high experienced coaches that can help players develop quicker. And then why do I think this company will succeed is because it's a niche market. There's not a lot of one-to-one training facilities around the world, really. So being able to create that sort of thing for players to just come in, hey coach, boom, 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 and they're already getting started or something like that, instead of having to search and figure out themselves. They can already have their own personalized coach for their desired sport, away from their team, away from the pressure of being in a team. This is just where they can be themselves and just learn, play, train, all for an hour, all in there with the highest leveled coaches, the best facility, the best equipment. All of that stuff will help them obviously become better players. And I think it's also a very innovative situation. It's very different. It's exciting. As footballers, everything we do has a little excitement to it. So having a facility like this will be very exciting for the players. And then obviously, I feel as it goes on, there's got to be long-term investments. There's got to be big people coming in trying to invest in our stuff. So, if it is from partnerships with clubs, partnerships with equipment people, it's all gonna go work out really well, and I think it will sustain us for a really long time. And just to recap, I think we obviously talked about the facility, what's going to be in the screens, the AstroTurf, this caged out little sections, eight pitches around, which is going to be really really good for the players to have. It being a one-to-one facility and like strictly for that purpose, and I think that's another thing we talked about that will be very good for the players coming in, and that's why I feel like my target audience will be met and my market will grow as the facility obviously gets more successful, and I'm making sure that we have coaches tailored to the project, where we have the right people working with these players to make sure they can achieve what they really want out of this. And then we have we're gonna be bringing in high level players to our places, so we can just show our audience and our fans a way that like they can see their heroes more like training in an environment like this. We'll do little interviews and stuff like that to give it to have a more engagement with the younger generation and players coming up. All right, thank you.